Hi, and welcome to the 2020 Economic Recession and Preparation Channel. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me once again on this Wednesday, July 15th, 2020. Today, I want to talk to you about one of the candidates for president, the Democratic presidential nominee, Joe Biden. And today on NPR, he had this interesting thing about his plan. As you know, President Trump has ran on America First. That's his theme for his plan. So Joe Biden's plan is called Build Back Better. That's what his economic plan is going into the 2020 election season. And so in a half-hour speech, he outlined his plan for America and his vision of economic nationalism that's going to help America recover from the greatest recession that it's had in the last 12 years, since 2008. And we all know it's going to be a depression. But getting back to his plan, ladies and gentlemen, Biden's economics plans to date have focused on immediate relief for families, small businesses, and communities struggling amid this sickness pandemic. But the proposal he detailed Thursday centered around manufacturing and innovation, and I quote, he outlined an agenda to buy American, which includes a $700 billion investment in procurement and research and development for new technologies such as biotech, clean energy, and artificial intelligence. Isn't that interesting? This will be a mobilization of research and development and procurement investments in ways not seen since World War II, Biden said. His campaign posts a new plan will create 5 million new jobs. Just 5 million new jobs. And he says, quote, I do not buy for 1 second that the vitality of the American manufacturing is a thing of the past, Biden said, adding that he believes the future should be made in America, all in America. Well, let me just dissect this first things for you here. And you know that I'm about truth, and I'm about truth and freedom, and I'm about justice for all and economic freedom for all on this channel in preparation. Unfortunately, the days of buying American only is just a lie, because the globalism that was brought in by President Clinton in the 90s and President Bush, the first Bush, and with the NAFTA agreement and other agreements, if you look it up, that has already happened. They've already sold the U.S. jobs to China and Singapore and Thailand and other countries, okay? They have already sold us out. That has already happened. So the days of like human labor, Americans doing billing things, it's over, okay? Now, this $700 billion investment that our presidential nominee Biden is talking about is mostly for artificial intelligence. What they mean is they are going to pay not people, but robots, okay, are going to take over human labor. Automation robots are going to take over human manufacturing. So they're basically closing all of these plants down, all of your meat plants, your clothing, textile plants, your furniture plants, your car plants. They're going to close them down and revamp them. The owners are going to revamp them and put robots in them, okay, to build all of the infrastructure and everything needed. First, they used Mexican. They don't need Mexicans to pick the field. Then First, they use African Americans to, obviously through slavery, to pick the fields and to build, America in terms of the buildings and the White House and structures. Then they use the Mexicans to pick the fields, to plant and all of that. Now the owner's saying, we don't need all of that. We can use robots and save money, because robots don't get tired. Robots, you don't have to pay them health insurance, or you don't have to pay them death benefits. You don't have to pay them a pension, retirement pension, okay? And they don't get tired. You don't have to give a lunch break to them. Robots don't file grievances against their bosses or whatever, okay? So this new $700 billion investment is going to be an investment into robots and artificial intelligence and drones. So it's not going to help the American worker, okay? No matter what he says. So the 5 million new jobs is going to be in artificial intelligence, biotech, robots, and things of that nature. So that is what's gonna be happening to this new economy that we're going into. So not only that, you remember that during our current administration here, the Trump administration, he asked for money for a wall. I think it was like $5 billion, and we couldn't even come up with that. Okay, so what makes you think that this new infrastructure, that Green Deal, that AOC, that's Alexandria Cortez, and others of the Green Party Democratic Party and Biden proposed is going to have the money. We don't have the money for this. We don't have the money to give every American universal basic income right now to build on them $2,000. We just don't have that money. America's broke. We're insolvent. We're $26 trillion. The federal debt is $26 trillion. Okay. So Mr. Biden, the President Biden, also reiterated his plan, according to article, to boost corporate tax rate up to 28%. Okay. After the Republicans lowered it to 21% in 2017, he says this, to quote, the days of Amazon paying nothing in federal income tax will be over. Okay, so this is his plan. This is what he plans. He says we want to bring back American things, right? He's saying the same thing that Mr. Trump has already said, that we're going to bring back American goods. Unfortunately, America has already slipped into a great recession, heading into a depression because of the job growth has been anemic and depressed wages. That is the key thing, okay? When is the last time you have gotten a raise, okay, from your boss, either from the public sector or the private sector? I ask you that. Comment down below. When is the time that, besides the cost of living wage, which is not really keeping up with the cost of living and inflation, which is only like 2%, when is the last time you've actually got a raise from your boss? I want to hear that. Comment down below, okay? Wages have not kept up with inflation, let alone the cost of living, and so how can we get a new deal when the old deal stinks? That's what the question I asked for this presidential candidate that he needs to address in the coming weeks, okay? So, his presidential plan for recovery, build back better. We can't build back better that which was broken in the beginning, okay? And it is time for a new superpower. And that superpower, as we all know, is most likely going to be China. They lead because they have better manufacturing, they have the manpower, they have less debt, and more importantly, they hold a lot of U.S. debt, okay, notes, do treasury bills or whatever. So that is the truth of the matter. I keep it 100% here. You know that from now. And so what we need to do is work on building our individual communities, our individual family economies, okay? We need to be saving more, spending less. We need to be building out our supplies in a rural location or in a location that we can access outside of this jungle that we call the concrete jungle that we call the city. Okay, we need to get back to farming, self-sufficiency, and it's going to be painful even then, but that's just the economy. That's just the economy that we're going to be in, okay, heading into 2021 and 2022, because this sickness is here to stay. What happens when people cannot longer go to the grocery stores? What happens when people can no longer go out because of the sickness, or go to church or to the gas station or to the malls, okay? That's why it's so important to be prepared, because layoffs are going to keep coming. Jobs are going to keep being lost in construction and healthcare and retail and the public sector and government, in every sector, okay? And it's just slowly trickling down. What happens when we can no longer have access to the resources of clean water, fresh air, and etc.? Well, we need to have a plan, and that plan starts today with you, okay? So continue to prep. Don't be fooled. Continue to build up your supplies. Just as they're building this building, we have to start with the first layer first and continue to build. And sooner or later, before you know it, you'll have some things to be self-sufficient, and you won't be as deterred or shocked by the news that these companies and things that tell you they no longer need it, or they're filing for bankruptcy and stuff of those nature. So thank you for joining me once again. Look forward to seeing you. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already, and we'll continue to keep you informed with the 100% truth economically and what you need to do to get prepared heading into 2021. Blessings, and I'll talk to you soon.